Hey everyone, what's up? Anthony here from Bless You Daylight, and I'm taking a break from Idle Slayer because I haven't had the energy to play that game, and I have many other games that are on my list of things I want to do. So I'm also gonna try to adjust this a little bit. Fudge it. This is as good as it's gonna get. Anyway, I'm just gonna chill out and play some palworld today because that's on my list of games to play, and I just desperately needed a break from Idle Slayer. I played that game over 1,080 hours at this point. I've been playing it for 4 years. I just want to play something else. And I have taken breaks before, and I played palworld, and that's number 7 on my list of things to do is play palworld. So that's what I want to do, and that's what I'm going to make a video on today. It does take a while to load. This is a game I legitimately cannot record and play at the same time. Or, try to think how to word this. Not record. I can't. How do I word this? It's. One, I could never play and stream at the same time. Like, if I'm just recording, that's fine, but you'll notice that I've had to lower the settings to the minimum, and it takes a really long time to load. And once it loads, I actually had to mess around in the OBS settings several times to figure out how to do this properly, because it kept turning. It was basically a slideshow, let's put it that way, and I had to open up advanced settings and give OBS priority on the computer, and then I found out that the encoder I was using was automatically turning it into an NVHEC recording, and I could not change it even if I remuxed it to an MP4. It still was an NVHEC recording, or whatever the acronym is. Or not acronym, but abbreviation. I feel like it's an abbreviation for something. But it don't matter. We got it. We're just gonna have some fun. I will go back to Idle Slayer every now and again. I'm not sure when. I do have several hours of gameplay from that game, so I might jump in and get a few hours here and there. I'm not giving up on it. I'm just switching gears, because I was just really depressed trying to beat that game, and it was no fun. Just didn't have any desire to continue. It was extremely stressful. I wasn't really getting anywhere, and I just needed a break and do something else. And I said that like 6 times now. I don't know. I've taken so long away from making videos. I kind of don't have much to say today. Heck, the audio on this might not even be that good. I just want to make a video because I haven't made a video in 2 weeks or more at this point, and uploaded. I made a short last week, but nothing good. And I just want to put my all into it and make something. Right here, I'm making a raid base, which doesn't look like much now. It's just an area to play. You know what? Screw it. I'm done. I'm done pretending to actually care about talking 100%. I'm just going to lay back and enjoy the show. I played it. I'm just going to enjoy it, because it's too stressful trying to play pretend. I forced myself to sit down for weeks, try to do Idle Slayer, and I think that's what's draining me, is the feeling of pretending to be upbeat. I'm not an upbeat person. If you want an upbeat person, this probably isn't the channel for you. I'm a very depressed, emo type of guy. I don't always like to be. It's just naturally how I am. So trying to pretend to be an upbeat gamer, I don't know how to word it. I don't know. As soon as I just stop pretending. When I stopped pretending just now, it's like I just left all of the nervousness off my chest. So I'm just so laid back. That's generally why I don't talk when I record gameplay, because it feels so forced and fake to me. Because it's just constantly pretending that I have something to say when I generally don't have anything to say at all. I moved the mic closer to me. I'm just gonna hold on to it because I don't have a mic stand, and I want to lean back and just enjoy the gameplay too. I found I actually enjoy watching this stuff even after I'm done recording. I don't know. I just kind of like seeing what I did, because when I'm in the moment, I'm so focused on what I'm doing, I can't really appreciate the art in games sometimes. And I like just to look back and enjoy it. Like, these pals are pretty well made here. I think they're really cute. A lot of people compare them to Pokemon, and that's fine. I don't care. Palworld's better. I said what I said. This is another thing like that's been getting on to me lately. I wanted a Nintendo Switch too, so I was researching it and looking it up, and some of the stuff the Nintendo Corporation have been doing just puts a sickening feeling in my stomach. Like, nah, I think I'm good now, man. I don't want a Switch 2, but I'm gonna get one eventually, just not right now. I'm gonna save up my money. When I have enough, and if they quit their crap, I might get it. Or I might get, like, there's a part of me that wants to get, what are these called, or brick switches, which prevents you from getting online, just so I can get in there and try to hack it. Like, if it's already bricked, like, well, why not at that point to just break it down and tear it in and just mess with it and make it my own, just out of spite, because I just tried to mine that rock, and I played this game for like 400 hours. I should know better than to try to mine that. This is basic rock. For those of you who are, I'm pretty sure all I'm doing right now is clearing out the game area so I can build my arena to raid battle. And if memory serves, it did not go well. I played so many hours of this game that I kind of forgot to try to record this, because I sit down and I do like 3-hour segments, because that's how much my editing software can handle before it absolutely will not go any further. Like, if you try to edit anything longer than a 3-hour, it chugs. And I had a 25-hour of Idle Slayer gameplay, and I edited it into like this really artistic thing, and it took hours to do, because even just moving one segment of the video, even though I'd cut it down, it dragged. So it was fun though. I've gotten used to that. So I would record 3 hours of gameplay, and it wasn't until after I got finished that I realized, oh, there's that HVAC issue I told you about. I call it HVAC. That's probably not what it is. It's HVAC, I think, is something to do with chemicals transportation. But the type of video file it was what can't be read, and there was nothing I could do to transfer it from the programs and my knowledge I have currently. Because remuxing, which is what I normally do for my OBS, is I record in one file and I remux it because it just looks better. And that didn't work anywhere, so I kept trying to figure out what's wrong, why isn't this working? And so I'd change a few things and then try again, change a few things, try again. And eventually, after a while, I was like, you know what, let's, instead of recording 3 hours of gameplay, let's go down to 1 hour and then figure it out, because then I can still play, because I hate jumping in and then leaving the game, and I can't really do anything else on my computer because palworld sucks up all my memory and processing power on my computer. It's not a very intensive game, but my computer is a decade old. The parts are pretty worn down, and it wasn't the best computer when I bought it. It's a gaming rig, yes, but it's kind of like barely a gaming rig, if that makes any sense, and it was pre-built, so it's not the best, but it gets me where I need to go for now, and it helps me videos. I think my laptop I bought last year is even better than this, but it's still not great. and I bought it in December just to have in my room so I could record my console games and like edit or take it with me if I want to do some artwork on the go. I have a computer I can upload my art to and edit it. Because I like to edit on my tablet, but I also like to transfer to the computer and edit it with a keyboard and mouse. It just feels nice sometimes because that's where I started with digital art. The funny thing though is, just like the Idol Slayer, I just didn't have the energy to do any of that. So I bought it and I have not done any of that with it, except for playing my console games and recording those, which I had a lot of fun. I was recording Dark Souls. That's actually how I found out Idol Slayer just burnt me out. Because I have the laptop in my room, I have a different channel just for that. And I recorded some Dark Souls footage. And I didn't know what to say. I didn't have this whole webcam set up in my room. I don't have a professional mic for that computer. And I'm not transferring this mic to my room because I have a fear. Because I have the mouse, a gaming mouse, and it had a virus on it, and I didn't know that was even possible. And I had a computer that crashed, and I fixed it, and I plugged the mouse in, and it re-uploaded the virus and caused more damage. And then I like rebooted it, and I'm like, what the hell's happening? And then I had another computer. I usually have multiple computers, and it was an old laptop I had, and I plugged the mouse in, and it gave the laptop the virus. I'm like, oh shit. And unplugged it, and then redid the internet on rebooted my laptop, and it fixed it. And I'm like, then I looked up on my phone, can a mouse have a virus on it? And like, yes, they can. I'm like, apparently. And I'm always worried that somehow, like, some of my devices have latent viruses on them, and I have this thing now where I will not connect any device that's connected to one computer to another, just in case that's a thing. All computers will have like their own setup, and that stuff that only goes to that device, because I don't want to risk that ever again. That scared the out of me. The virus got so bad it somehow like infected our whole like internet crashed. And we had to have the internet company come through, and they did some wiring. They gave us a new router. Like they had to have a truck come out, and like I don't know if it was. I don't think that was because of the virus. I do think that was something else. It just happened at the same time. But my other computer that had that virus on it, when I uploaded it and rebooted it and had all new systems, there's something with the software for the Wi-Fi, just no matter what I did, it wouldn't work anymore. The Wi-Fi just would not work, and I was too terrified to connect to the Ethernet, because I'm like, if it went through the mouse, it might be in the root to the computer. There's nothing I can do. I don't know what to do, and it's probably just superstition, but I threw it out. I threw that computer out, and I have not connected any of the devices. I threw the gaming mouse out. I just threw it out because I didn't want to accidentally sell it and it have that virus on it and infect someone else's computer. Oh my god, like that would, like, I don't think I could sleep if I did that to someone. Like, knowingly gave some, just no, man, no. So I threw out this gaming mouse and this computer that I probably could have sold for $400. It was like, just threw it out in the dumpster. I feel bad, but it's like, I don't know. At some point, it was also it sat on my living room floor for 2 years before I threw it out. By the way, like I had edited it, and I was gonna repair it, and I kept putting it off, and it's like, you know what? At this point, I want to build my own custom PC. I want to up to my specs and have fun with it. I don't need 5 computers. 2 is plenty. So if this is just sitting here, taking up space, making my apartment look like crap, I'm kind of into minimalism. For my mental health, I feel like that's better. So I just threw it out one day after much deliberation. And even now, when I bring it up, I'm like, I hate doing that, but what else was I gonna do? I couldn't sell it. I didn't have the energy to do anything with it, like with my art. Sometimes I really like this style of art where you take things that normally go in the trash and you make something out of it. But I didn't have the energy to do that, and I still don't know what I'm gonna do. And it's in the trash somewhere, so it's like, I don't know. It probably wasn't the best thing to do, but I don't know. Sometimes it's what you gotta do. You gotta realize it's just trash and there's nothing you can do about it. And just move on. And I've totally forgot why I brought up the computer. That computer. Oh, right, because this computer's old and it's laggy, but it's good enough for me. That's what led to other things. Oh, man. Yeah, and for those of you who might be wondering if you are even listening, with the why do I have two accounts, this channel is not a video game channel. This is actually all about me finishing projects I had never finished. I started, never finished. And it just so happens that a lot of those projects are defeating video games because I like games. I'm also trying to lose weight, and I'm doing rather well at that right now. I was at 315, I think, 311, 315. I am now down to 304. And I feel like I should cheer myself on because that's pretty good. I got a long way to go, but I'm just making progress on that. I'm also learning how to code in Python using boot.dev. Instead of getting a streaming service like Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon, I pay for that. And whenever I have energy, instead of streaming, I'll go get on there. And I can't record that, unfortunately, because it is teaching someone something. So if I record it, then it's like, it's not the same thing as a game, because it's like that's what they're selling. So it'd be like me recording Netflix or something, and that's just not cool. Although nowadays sometimes I wish people would just record Netflix and pirate shit, because that shit's crazy on how expensive stuff like that is. But it's not. They aren't necessities, and I can always go get DVDs and Blu-rays. In fact, that's another thing I've been doing too lately is my roommate has the entire Avatar series and the Legend of Korra series on DVD. I'm borrowing Book 1 Water from him right now and having a lot of fun watching that. I completely misremembered how a lot of it went because he watched the live action and he was adamant that they did better showing that Katara didn't know how to waterbend. And I thought she didn't in the cartoon. And I thought they showed that very well, but I misremembered. She actually was a lot further along at the start of the series. Even though she really didn't know how to control it, she was able to do more than in what he was describing in the show. And I had misremembered thinking that in the cartoon it was about the same. And nah, she's a lot more adept, even though she's still like really bad at it in the first few episodes. She's getting better though, and I know by the end of the first season, like I've seen the entire series. I just wanted to rewatch it because it's something fun to do. I also found out like both Legend of Korra and Avatar on Walmart have the Blu-ray for like $30 or $20. So that was pretty cool. And I've just been looking into collecting video games again. I have a decent amount of like physical games currently, and that's actually why I was going to get the Switch too, but then I learned about the game cards and how even some old Switch 1 games, like someone bought some old Switch 1 games pre-owned, and the previous owner dumped the files and they got flagged, and then they bricked this other person's Switch 2 for playing these Switch 1 games that were dumped, which isn't illegal, by the way. You can dump your own physical games and create digital backups as long as you're not sharing them on the internet, which is common, but as long as you're not doing that, you're perfectly viable. Like, although I mean technically the way that they got found, they probably found them on the internet, so that's still like just going a little too far, man. And I don't know like the full story, but I saw some headlines and recipe for disaster, right? I saw some headlines and I didn't read the story, but I did see some headlines about Nintendo Switch or Nintendo using the FBI to take down a ROM site, which emulation is like perfectly legal. Sharing ROMs is pirating, I think. But I'm also like, most of these games are so old, you can't buy them new anywhere. And I will admit, I think it is illegal, and I don't think it should be though. And I've only ever done that like on games that I can't get. Like there's no physical way to get it. There's a lot of abandonware that I've technically pirated before in my life, but as a collector, I don't. When I'm playing an emulated version of a game, it doesn't feel real to me, and I don't like it. Like there's something mental going on there, because I love the Digimon World series, but my God, getting a physical copy of those games is expensive. But I also know I could easily just go on, get a PlayStation 1 emulator and a couple ROM files for the different games, and I could play that. But it doesn't, like, it feels wrong to me, and I know I can do that really easy to play the games, but it's like, ugh. I don't knock anyone who does that, because obviously, like I was saying earlier, I feel like it should be legal, because these games are so old, like you can't even sell them anymore. Or, I mean, they don't sell them brand new, so it's like even if someone was selling them, the companies, I think it's Bandai, which is Bandai Namco now, wouldn't get the money for it, and they're not reselling it anywhere. So it's like, what else are you gonna do? There's also like so much that just turned me off of the Switch too, that I'm hoping they'll fix. And I don't know if they will though, because Nintendo, although back in the 3DS era, they had an issue with a lot of people not wanting to buy it because they were being kind of stupid with their policies, and that eventually led to them changing them. So maybe we'll have a repeat of that. That's kind of like why I'm waiting. 'Cause I genuinely like the idea of having a Switch too. I've had a Switch. I've had every handheld console they've ever made except for the Virtual Boy. I had the Game Boy Color. I've had a. No, did I have a game? I take that back. It may actually not. I've had a Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, a Nintendo DS, a 3DS, a DSi, which is kind of like, it's not a really different console, but it had a camera on it. The DSi was a lot of fun to mess with. And I've had a Switch, so I've had almost every handheld console they've ever made, and it's gonna suck really bad if this is the end of that for me, because it just, I don't know, it's sad to see this hobby that I've grown to love for my whole life is just, the people making everything just kind of suck right now. Like, Sony's not too much better, and Xbox, they just pretty much jumped on the bandwagon with Nintendo on increasing the price of all the video games, which for no reason, which doesn't make any sense to me at all, because these are older games. They shouldn't cost more. The older something is, typically the cheaper it gets. It's just, it sucks. I am happy to see that a lot of indie developers, which I'm hoping to be one day, like I'm slowly learning how to code for that. It's one of the things on my list. That they seem to be coming up with some really awesome games, and a lot of them aren't increasing their prices. There was a smaller team, Expedition 33, I don't know if they're indie, that came out. I really want to play that game, but I got so into Idle Slayer. And one of the things is in the month of June, I bought so many games because I was playing Idle Slayer and I was so starved for any other game that I had this urge to go get stuff, and I spent so much money I shouldn't have spent. But now that I played Power, I don't feel that urge right now, because I played Palworld. I know that I'm no longer stuck playing Idle Slayer. If I don't want to play it, I can go play a different game and just record some gameplay and talk over it. And I like that. I think that solved a lot of my issues. I was very depressed last month and burnt out. I went 22 days in a row working on the Idle Slayer game, trying to beat it, making projects, making videos. And I got so anxious, my sleep got less and less and less and less. I went from getting about 8 to 10 hours a night to getting 6, then 4, then 3, then most of the time I'd be up for 2 days at a time, no sleep at all. And it got, like, I think I was up for 2 days straight because I could not sleep. And then I made that video because I read somewhere online that when you can't sleep, it's better not to stay in bed laying down, but actually to get up and go do something. Because if you lay there and you keep trying to sleep and you're worrying about stuff, you train your body to treat the bed as a place of meditation and thinking rather than rest and recovery. So I got up and I made that video I mentioned where I played Dark Souls, and I just recorded over it, and I blasted Idle Slayer. I chewed the game out, up, down, left, right, and the center. It was the worst video I've ever made, but I needed to get it off my chest. I was livid. Like, it sucked so bad, and I just had to let the world know. And I realized I was fed up, and I had to make a change because that's not healthy. Because while I don't want to pretend to be happy when I'm not, I also don't want to be so angry at something that just doesn't deserve the hate. Because while I don't think it's the best game, because I have put over 1,000 hours and I still haven't beat the story mode, and I don't think any game should take that long to beat. So I feel like that itself means it's not a very good design game, but the designer himself didn't force me to do that. So, and it is a fun game to put on your phone or on a tablet while you're watching some YouTube videos, which is what that game is. It's a phone game first, and you can play it for free on your phone. And if you want to play it on Steam, you can pay $5 for it. I think it was $5 when I bought it 4 years ago. Closer to 3, like, it is closer to 4 years, but it's technically 3 years ago because I did look it up, and my first achievement I earned on Steam was back in 2022. And I tried to beat it playing just the way I was playing now, and it just burned me out each time. But no one's forcing me to do that, so I needed to take a step back and figure something else out. And I also just realized with myself, having goals and working on them every day is too stressful for me because it causes issues with my insomnia, and it causes me to get anxious and nervous, which causes me to, like, it compounds with that, and then I have to take medicine for my depression that already makes my insomnia a little bit worse. It's a St. John's wort. It's a uptake inhibitor. I forget. I think it's a serotonin uptake. It's weird, but the way it works is it increases a certain thing in my brain that can cause like less like sleep, but I have to take it, otherwise I feel so depressed I want to go. And I think it was Wednesday, I hadn't taken it in 2 weeks because I needed to get some sleep. So there's this constant balance between taking the medicine and not, because that alone, like, it upsets my sleep so much, and there's no medicine I can take to counteract it. So I tried melatonin supplements at night when I felt tired to get some more sleep. Didn't work. I don't want to like get to the point where I'm taking like 10 different pills. And St. John's wort is a very volatile pill. It does not like to play with anything else in your system, and it's very dangerous because if I take too much of it, I can build up too much of the thing I can't think of that it actually helps me make. I think it's serotonin, but I could be wrong. It's one of the feel-good chemicals in your brain. My body just doesn't produce it naturally, so I need it. I was taking something a lot more that I couldn't go to Walmart and get. I can't remember what it was called, but I lost my doctor, so I had to like look up what my different medicines were and try to find some over-the-counter equivalents that would work for me. And St. John's wort worked, and it helps me lowers my anxiety, keeps me happier. I'm not as irritable, because when I get depressed, I don't just get sad, I also get very sensitive to everything around me. I get very angry at things that don't make any sense, and I can snap like that. So taking St. John's wort is a necessity, but I also can't take it too often. And I really wish I could get a doctor and get on something a little bit more stable, but right now I have insurance that the only doctor it'll cover is 50 miles away at this point, and I don't have the gas money to get there and back every month, because I've already razor thin margins with my money. I get paid. I'm on disability, so I don't make a lot to begin with. I technically don't make any of it. If you want to be honest, someone else makes it and I get a percentage of whatever they put in. I don't really like getting into that, but I did bring it up, so sorry about that. It bugs me. I do want to, that's one of the reasons I want to finish these projects. I want to get a skill that I can then support myself, get off disability, pay back into disability. Because it would feel so good to actually start making money to the point where I paid everything I ever took from disability and more, because it eats away at me in a way I can't help. I've tried to just ignore it for the longest time, and I just can't. I hate having anyone else take care of me, and I feel like it's very important to me that even if I fail, to at least keep trying to support myself, keep innovating, keep improving myself, so one day I can hopefully, and if not, and I die someday, I can at least look at God in the face and say, God, I know I couldn't support myself, but you got to admit I tried every day I was alive, and I just failed. And I'd rather be able to say that than, oh, I never really tried because I knew you had my back or something, which, to be fair, God does say he'll make sure you get food and shelter. That's part of what's in the Bible. It doesn't say anything about anything special. It'll just make sure you have the bare necessities, and that this world isn't what you're supposed to live for, but I don't want to get too religious on anyone. That's one of my biggest stressors, though, and I would love to just be on something a little bit more stable, because St. John's wort, while it does help and I can easily get it over the counter, I think I'm using the right word there, I may not be, it does worry me a lot because of how volatile it is with other medicines. If I take it several days in a row, like a normal pill, it does build up to the point where I have to stop for several days on end, and I have to be very much more aware of my mental state and my body, that I'd rather just be able to take normal medicine for it, but it is what it is. It's a whole bunch of stressors, and I'm sure this video is going to absolutely tank, but probably no one's going to watch it. I'm not even going to do thumbnails because it's been so long since I've done a video. I don't want to stress out over that, so I just want to talk and release this video. I think that's all I have to say right now, too. I don't really feel like there's much else I want to say, and I can easily just record another video when I have the energy. I talked about, let me switch to, I talked about, that's the thing, it's do I have anything else I want to talk about? I think I'm good. Thank you all for watching. If you watched it this far, like the video, dislike it, comment in the comment section below. Hope you guys have a better day than I have, because honestly, I'm not having a bad day, but it's just always nice to know someone's doing a little bit better than me. Thank you all, and talk to you next time. Bye.